Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your dab drag of the day with our Helix Carta with our Crimson Base. Today's topic on Thursday is something that I really have never talked about. Now, you can say to yourself, well, Senior Stoner's talked about just about everything. Never talked about money. Let's talk about money. We've been talking about efficiency, using your medicine efficiently, size of dabs becoming smaller, single hits instead of dab roaches, making sure you take the puck out of your vape and use it again for an edible, all the different tricks. But we really didn't get into the real reason why. Money. You know, the old saying, it's the root of all evil? It is. It has to happen. We have to have it. If you don't have it, it's a difficult situation. So how do you deal with what's going on in the world right now, which for many of us is a big reduction in our money coming in, when we have money that we spend on medicine? Not talking pharmaceutical medicine, we're talking about weed medicine. Let's get right to the bottom line. How much money do we spend on weed and weed-related things? So let's look at it instead of how much do we need to use to get high or to feel the effect. Let's take the number from the top and say, how much can we afford to spend? Can we spend $10 a day, $30 a day, $50 a day, $100 a day, $1,000, whatever your number is? Because that's the number. And that's what we don't talk about. We all like to flute around and dance around that, wow, it's great, look at those hits, the quality's great. These rigs are $300 each, okay? Some of them are $4. The weed, you know, in New Jersey, weed's $440 an ounce at a dispensary. $440 an ounce, I'll say it again, at a dispensary. You can get half-gram cartridges on sale for $42 because it's $420 coming up. Ground flour, the corner of a baggie, the ground flour, the worst that there is, $3.60 an ounce. So, what am I getting at here? There are hundreds, if not thousands, of people that line up every day in my state at dispensaries, because they're essential services, to spend their money. But how much money are they spending? How much money can we afford to spend going forward? Raise our hand if we got a stimulus check. Okay? You get a stimulus check, it means you fall within a realm of a number that you make. You're going to use that stimulus check for weed? And I'm not saying weed's bad. This is not me coming around 360 degrees anti-pot. Not at all. How do we manage the new budget? It's a new world out there. The new budget with weed. It's different than managing it in the past. As a matter of fact, what you need to think about, hypothetically, at least this is how I'm looking at it, what do I have and how long can I make it last? Notice I didn't say what can I get. I said, what do I have and how long can I make it last? For example, these dry diamonds would get sprinkled in pretty heavily into a joint, in a Jimmy joint. Guess what? I haven't even rolled a Jimmy joint. I can't remember the last time, a couple of weeks. Because I didn't say it, but I've already been enacting this process. And I'm a paranoid guy. You guys all know me. You ladies know me. Everyone knows me. I'm a paranoid son of a gun. I almost look at the worst case scenario instead of the best case scenario. It's just how I'm wired to look for the worst case and try to prepare for it. I tried to get ahead of this. So I'm in stock. What I encourage everyone to do, please, when I put the video on Weed Armageddon, I wasn't kidding. You need to find out how much you have, see if it's enough. If it's enough, make it last. And I'm talking about for a long time. If it's not enough, find a way to get a little bit more. Because here's what's going to happen. And I'm going to talk to my doctor about it today. I'm talking to my lung doctor. I have not been smoking. But I need to. Because it takes the edge off. the edibles get a little too much for me because I haven't been doing edibles. And so I started to do a little bit again, and they're very intense. So I need just the edge taken off. And I want my oxygen levels in my body to be good and all those things. And I want to hurt myself. So I need to talk to him. And I'm going to have a video call with him today, showing him this device, showing him a joint, and showing him an electronic dab machine. And saying, this is what I used to do a lot of. I don't want to do it right now because I think it might have hurt me. Can I do this? And if I get permission to do that or take a couple of hits off of a joint, instead of smoking 3 jimmies in the hot tub, it's going to be 3 hits in the hot tub. Now, I'm driven there by my health. That was the reason it happened. But let me help you. Let me please be the one that made the mistake. Drive yourself there because of the money. Drive yourself to moderation because of what can happen 90 days from now. You're not seeing it now. We're not seeing what's going to happen 90 days from now. So we need to think further out as to what might face us. I thought about it 90 days ago, back in January. I was thinking about this. Should I stock up? Should I stock up? What should I do? Should I reduce my intake? Stocked up, reduced my intake. And then I didn't feel well, so it took care of itself. But for you all, make your mountain, find out how much you have. Look, it's pretty simple. Let's talk about it really straight with each other. If you have a gram, it's 1,000 milligrams. It's 1,000 milligrams in there, okay? At least 100 doses, according to the book. Now, how do I know that? Because the companies that engineer this stuff, called Nuclear Genetics, unrivaled potency and clarity without solvents or additive, it's called Nuclear. This is really, in its essence, quote, dab, refill a cartridge, or directly cook with it. But gee, how do you do it? What does it say? Oh, gee, 1 gram, 100 doses. 1 gram, 100 doses. I'll say it again. 1 gram, 100 doses. Some of the comments yesterday were very smart about concentrate being a good way to go because it's more potent and you have to do less. 100 doses in a gram. 100 doses in a gram. Think about it. So, excuse me. Weed efficiency. It's about money. You know, I've danced around it many times with all of you. I really have. Think about it. We've all danced around the topic, but we have to now, let's kind of let it out. Let's all understand what it is. Money. It's a finite thing. Now, what's going on now, things are going to change, I believe. And let me give it to you the way I see it. Let's put pot aside. Food, going to get more expensive because it's going to get harder to get. Gasoline, forget about. Nobody's going anywhere. Medical care. Okay, you need money for that too, don't you? So, supplies, cleaning supplies. Try getting a can of Lysol. You can't. You're going to have to go online and pay 5 times more for it. Toilet paper, the same deal. Paper towels, same deal. So, or else risk yourself going to a store and exposing yourself to other people being sick, God forbid. This is about, it's called marshaling. Marshaling means really figuring out what you've got. Marshal it out. Okay? And you say, I have this, I have this, I have this, and I have that. And then each one you have a rate of use. If you have milk in the house, you got 4 kids and a gallon of milk, it's going to go pretty fast. If you've got 2 seniors like me and Mrs. Stoner and a gallon of milk, it's not going to go that fast. Rate of sale. Okay? How fast you go through things. Weed. I was blowing through 10 joints a day, smoking them. And a gram of dab, at least, a day. And, I don't know, 500 milligrams of a brownie a day. I've ratcheted it down. Gradually. I did not go through a crazy withdrawal. It was difficult, but it wasn't crazy. I feel very stressed out periodically because I don't have my normal sedation. But it wasn't crazy. And what has that done for me? It's let me see what flat is. And then I fill back in again to where I feel comfortable. So instead of being at my apex, at my peak, and making that the marshaling point, I let it settle down a little bit. Let the excitement dwindle. And I found the floor. Find your floor. That's my recommendation. And then build it back up again with what you need. What you're going to find, I believe 100%, is that you're going to need less than you thought you needed. Now, don't forget, being that it's weed, we're all insecure about not having enough. So when you get to the floor, build it up enough so you feel comfortable. Because it's not just the amount you have to smoke or eat, it's the amount you think you have. Trust me, I'm right on this, because that can increase your anxiety, and you don't want that. This is about drawing down our anxiety level, minimizing the amount of money we have to spend, and maximizing our efficiency with our weed and with our things weed. It's very important that all those components kind of happen at the same time. They're not going to happen the same way. You might flatten your money situation, but your stress might be up. You might flatten your stress, but you might not have the money under control, and you might not have the supply under control, how to use it yet. But once you do, you'll turn those bars, it's a bar graph at that point, into a pie. You'll go from those, we do it all the time, and we talk about it. You're going to go from those sharp edges to those curves. You're going to go from, oh my God, I can't believe that, to, oh, not so bad. And that's what it's all about. It's a process. It's a process that we're all going to need to do, because let's just face it, money doesn't grow on trees. It's not a finite source. And we have to make the best of it, especially during these times. I'm actually heating this thing up with my weed atomizer, and we are going to take a Helix Top Crimson Carta Dabrip. Here we go. Some of you out there are going to call me a baby. The ones that are smart out there are going to call me a genius, because this is getting it into my body without hurting myself. I encourage you all to find ways to get weed into your body without hurting yourself. Make it, maximize it, and minimize those three things. Remember, minimize your stress, maximize the use of what you have, and capitalize on all these things we talked about. Everybody, have a great day out there. It's Thursday. Keep your chins up. Remember what we talk about here. A circle with hope at the top. Cheers, everybody.